Hi, I'm Patricia Baird Clark, and this is the fifth segment in my series on satanic ritual abuse, magic surgery, and the structure of the inner world. By now, you have learned what I have been able to understand about the structure of the inner world of someone who's been very severely satanically ritually abused. Now, the structure that I have described is not in all people who've been abused in this way, but it will be in those who are the most severely abused, who have been chosen to be used by people in high places, powerful groups that are trying to control the world, various world leaders and governments, things like that. They will have this kind of structure, but a lot of people don't. But if you are seeing people on a regular basis, or even just a few people that you're ministering to, you're very likely going to run into this. So you need to be aware of it, and it does show us the complexity of the human mind when abuse is involved, and demons, and some ways that people are controlled, and some of the goals of the cult, and some of the ways that they work. Now, all of this works by the imagination. It's with the imagination that we contact the spirit realm. And the cult knows that. They know that a highly developed imagination will much more readily receive magic surgery, and will more readily see the demons and be controlled by them. So they purposely do things to make sure the child develops a very strong imagination. For example, a little one is denied the freedom to go outside and play. She might be kept in a room for weeks at a time, or put in isolation somewhere very unpleasant for a very long time. And so what does a little one do when they can't go out and play? Well, they go out and play in their imagination. If they're not allowed to have any friends, then they have imaginary friends. I even met a woman one time whose mother had nothing to do with her, so she created an altar who was Mammy, and Mammy was the mother figure who took care of her in her imagination. And so it is with the imagination that people can survive in really unsurvivable situations. I heard this story one time about a man who had been a prisoner of war, and when he was in the enemy prison in isolation for years, he kept his sanity by imagining he was building a house. He designed the house in his mind, and he went out and bought the materials, dug the foundation, laid the bricks one by one, put in the plumbing, the electric work. He did the whole thing in his mind, and that's how he kept his sanity. That's how he survived. And so people who are abused do use their imagination. But the fact that things like this go on in imagination doesn't mean it isn't real. Take, for example, the woman that could not drink a glass of water because she was afraid a bomb would go off and kill her and me and everyone in the house. Now, that was very real to her. So when I asked Jesus to come, and he came and disarmed the bomb and removed it, that was real. I mean, she was totally at ease, and she was able to drink water because Jesus had come. And what Jesus did was real. Jesus came in the imagination, but he can heal through the imagination. And it's within our imagination that some of the gifts of the Spirit operate. So, although the imagination contacts the evil spirit realm, it can also contact the good spirit realm. So when a Christian who knows the Lord is ministering to someone who's satanically ritually abused, that minister brings the presence of the Lord. Well, the presence of the Lord is also in the spirit of the person they're ministering to, because they wouldn't be, the person receiving ministry wouldn't be with the Christian counselor if that person did not have the Spirit within. And so we bring the presence of Jesus, and we can pray. And because these people are so open to the spirit realm, when I pray and ask Jesus to come, they can see him, and they can hear him. And so the Lord is able to do things to help them. So the imagination is not all bad. It's just what you do with your imagination. Because with the imagination, we can also see the good spirit realm, Jesus and his angels and good things. God made our imagination. He made it for good. And it's just one of those things that the cult takes and uses for evil. One thing you are not to do with your imagination is to enter into this structure, into someone else's inner world. I saw someone do that one time, and I thought, boy, that is not effective, and that is wrong. I really believe it's called. A lady minister and a woman who was satanically ritually abused, that she was ministering to, wanted to come to me and talk to me. So I agreed to meet with them, and I met with them a few times over a few days. I did not minister to the abused lady. They just wanted to talk to me about some things. So while they were in my area, there was an emergency where something happened to the SRA lady that she was just going berserk, and she was in danger of taking her own life. And someone got the message to me, and so I went where they were, and I saw the minister ministering to this lady that she'd been helping for years. And she had taken her imagination and entered into the inner realm imagination of the abused person. And she said, I heard her say, okay, I'm there with you, I'm in the room with you, now you're not alone, now we're going to go through the door. Now I've got my hand on the door. Now I'm pressing on the door, you're pressing on the door with me, and we're going to go out of here. And there was a lot of self-effort in that. That is not what God wants us to do. We are never to try to enter someone else's inner world with our own imagination. We do not do that. In that situation, I would have said, Lord Jesus, she's shut up in this room and she's in a terrible situation. Would you please come rescue her? And it might be that I would detect there were demons there and I would cast out the demons, but Jesus would go there and Jesus would minister to them. So understanding the structure also doesn't mean that we direct the ministry. Just because I might know a person had 6 levels in their inner realm doesn't mean I say, okay, today I'm going to minister to you and I'm going to start with level 5. I want you to go to level 5. We're going to go to room 589 and we're going to talk to the altar in there. No, that would be wrong. I do not do that. I just pray and say, Lord Jesus, what do you want to do today? God, you know every part of this person. You know every altar and where they're shut away. And Lord, I ask that you would come and bring forth the one you want us to talk to today. And so then the Lord will begin working through the spirit of the abused person in front of me, because she can hear him better than I can, and sometimes she can see him, and she's the one that can see into her inner world. I don't see into it. So the Lord will very directly lead her, but he's also leading me because I have certain impressions, certain thoughts, and because I've prayed, I trust that the Lord is leading me also. But I don't hear any voices. I don't see inside a person. And it's like, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing supernatural going on within me. I'm just there to pray and to cast out demons and to bring the presence of the Lord. And so this works very effectively.